Welcome back. If you just joined us, our guest on this episode of Question Time is the Theatre Commander, Operations Lafia Dole, Major General Lucky Irabor. Don't go away. Perhaps the public interest in the capture of Camp Zero and a possible link to the military is to lay credence of the possibility of an internal sabotage from the Nigerian military.
Well, interestingly and very unfortunate, the environment we are in is full of perceptions. Even though some people are of the school of thought that perception has some indication, some form of reflection of realities. But in this case, I think those perceptions are completely wrong and false. I have no reason whatsoever to believe that there's sabotage, internal sabotage with respect to this operation. Internal in the sense of the military as an institution. There is nothing to warrant such thinking. But of course, if you say that there are individuals, Nigerians, who have been working at cross purposes with their operational objectives, yes, of course I will believe you. Why? Because many of those who were arrested as part of those involved in this madness, they are Nigerians.
Now, I want you to respond to this news that went viral that some of your officials were not given the nod when they had the opportunity to arrest the Boko Haram leader, Shekau.
Again, I need to be seized of that report, but I can tell you that it's nothing like that. I mean, when you're talking about those to give instructions, I'm the commander of this operation here. The operation is directed by the Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Defense Staff gives directives to the Chief of Army Staff, and of course, the Chief of Air Staff also directs, have connection to the air component of the operations, and so the air component commander is under me. The Chief of Air Staff gives appropriate direction in the conduct of air operations. So when you are talking about those to be given, who gives directives, who is to give the directive? The directive comes to me.
Well,
and then hold it, just a minute. I received the directive, and I am the sole authority right here in the theater who give directives. So if directive did not come from me, from who did it come from?
You said that the Sambisa forest is a stronghold of the Boko Haram insurgents. Now, capturing Camp Zero without arresting the Boko Haram leader Shekau seems to many like going round the rainbow without capturing a pot of gold. And do you have any information pertaining to the arrest, to the escape of Shekau?
Let's look at this way. When we talk about Camp Zero and Sambisa Forest as a tour, it must not be viewed like a barrack. We're talking about a forest that spans over 60,000 square kilometers. We're talking about an area that, beside the thick vegetation you find in most parts of the forest, you also find, open grounds, savanna, Sahel, type of vegetation, that anything can happen. We went into that operation with the hope of not just capturing the leadership of Boko Haram terrorists, but also to rescue those who have been held captives, the Chibok girls inclusive. Now, in one of my chat with the media, I showed extensively our area view, captures of the operation that we conducted. We saw how Boko Haram got mixed with those hostages, and we couldn't take them out from the air. And that, of course, is as an indication. We don't expect that the soldiers will have to be at every inch of the forest. It's not possible. It is the same way of talking about the borders of Nigeria, believing that you are going to have appropriate policing mechanism to have to cover up the long stretch of our even I would say unnavigated borders, international borders. So you could liken that to it. So Sheka or whoever, that constitute themselves as the Boko Haram terrorist leadership could actually find escape routes.
In one of your briefings, you did confirm that a Boko Haram suspect was found in the house of a local government chairman in that area. What are your findings?
Don't forget that Boko Haram terrorists did not come from a different space. They come from amongst us, the community. Not until you have very credible evidence, you wouldn't know why someone that you may have, even on your way here, you found a whole lot of people on the streets. A good number of them could have also have some form of association with the Boko Haram terrorists. How would you know? It is by investigation of those that you have got into your fold that you begin to understand their linkages.
Are you under pressure to secure the release of some of these suspects, considering the fact that the arrest of a local government chairman isn't a small fry, and that's indeed a big catch?
I'm in no way under pressure, and no man whatsoever can put me under pressure. In fact, I believe that what I'm doing here is divine. I strongly believe that as an individual. And in any case, my conscience tells me that I'm on the right course. So I will not do anything against my conscience. I have an oath of allegiance which I have sworn as an officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so I have no reason whatsoever. I have nothing whatsoever that will give indication or for me to believe that I'm under pressure.
What if the pressure comes from your superiors?
Who are my superiors? My superiors, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Air Staff, or the Commander-in-Chief himself. Pressure for them, for me to release who? When they mandated me to be here, how could they on their own now? Then maybe the pressure will be to say, look, you live here. And I believe that they are much more than that. I mean, these are come on, you can't, that can't happen. That does not happen, and it will never happen.
What do you make of the UN reports that Boko Haram is broke? Do you see that as a strategic advantage for the Nigerian military?
Maybe at this stage, let's begin to talk about a strategic advantage for Nigeria rather than Nigerian military. Because war is fought by a nation. Wars are not fought only by institutions. Wars are fought by the machinery of a national machinery.
Now let's look at the funding of the Boko Haram insurgents. How far have you gone in cutting the logistic supply of these insurgents?
The report that you just alluded to speaks to the fact that Boko Haram is broke. As most of the air interdiction operations that we've conducted have taken out their fuel dumps and other logistic bases.
Theater Commander Operations Lafia Dole, Major General Lucky Irabor, thank you so much for making out time and giving us insight into the military campaign against the Boko Haram. We wish you the very best of luck. Thank you very much indeed. How would posterity preserve the war against the Boko Haram insurgents? Not leaving out the controversial arms procurement probe. Who are the merchants of war and who are the patriots? How do we explain a situation where a suspected terrorist is found in the house of a local government chairman in Borno State? Well, it's on this note that we'll bring to a close this episode of Question Time from Channels Television. You may also send us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Join us next week on another fresh episode of the program. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru, signing out.